Hello, and welcome. We're gonna start the day with Spyran, who's gonna run Spider-Man. Maybe he's gonna introduce himself, and then we can just go.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Hello, everyone. I am Spyran. I am a Spider-Man 2000 speedrunner and also a Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro speedrunner from time to time. But we are running Spider-Man 2000 today. I am a world record holder in this game. It used to be this category on emulator as well, but no longer, sadly, as of a couple of days ago. But I do hold world records in hardware and some other bits and pieces for the PlayStation as well. Joining me on commentary today, I'm very excited to have my partner in crime, Willie Fetty, also here. Willie Fetty, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yo, I am also a Spider-Man 2000 speedrunner and a Spider-Man Enter Electro speedrunner and a little bit of a Resident Evil 3 speedrunner. But yeah, I'm basically the hardware to his emulator, but he does come in and take a lot of my records. So but I'll still give out a shout out. This is my boy, but I will be doing I will be explaining the bits that he either forgets to explain or telling you some more technical jargon with this game.
Indeed, or just making fun of me for things that he'll make fun of me of inevitably, I'm sure. So very quickly to explain kind of the premise of the game. You've probably played this game when you were younger, many years ago, but it's actually a really good speed game in my opinion. I think one of the best, very underrated, which hopefully you'll get from us playing this today. Costume-wise, there are a couple of costumes, I guess, first of all. I'm going to play in Scarlet Spider because that's Fetty's favourite costume, so we're going to do that in his honour. The game, basically, predominantly is get from one end of the level to the other. Generally, there's a few other things, like you've got to fight some people on the way, there's some boss fights, but generally, most of the time, it's get from one end of the level to the other, and we're just going to do that as fast as we can. So, let's get right on with it without further ado then. So, time starts as soon as we select difficulty, which we'll do in 3, 2, 1, go.
And we're off, dude. I hope the nerves are there.
Yeah, of course.
So all the story that he is skipping right now, basically, there's a reformed Dr. Octavius and a random, seemingly out of nowhere Spider-Man steals that device. But lo and behold, Peter Parker and Eddie Brock were both in the crowd, and that Spider-Man destroys Eddie's camera, causing him to turn into Venom. And this device that got stolen filled up the ground with all this yellow fog you see. Now, what you're seeing Spyran doing right here is there is a web swing cancel button, or a web swing button. What he is doing is he is carefully canceling his swings so that way he can keep his momentum, keep his height, and also we can't move while we're in the air. This isn't 2018. This isn't 2000 and whatever, the Spider-Man 2 movie. We can't move while web swinging, so we have to cancel and then web swing. So you're going to see him just hit a web dome here and a web ball, which are two of Spider-Man's abilities. The web yank might become important later, depending. And also he has web gloves, which we will use on every single boss to do double damage. But
Indeed.
we're just getting started.
Yeah, this is the first skip of the game. Very exciting. So Spider-Man can, in fact, just climb through walls, as you'll see just right here, which by doing this, we deload almost the entirety of this level, but not enough that it becomes unplayable. So we skip through. The point of this level is we're going to save all the hostages. So we've saved 2 there, one from dropping on them in that little room that was invisible, and the second from just entering that room and hitting the people. The rest of them are just in this room, and then we just get right to the end of the level. Nice and quick.
Oh, that looked pretty.
That was pretty smooth, actually.
Yeah,
that was pretty
really
good.
Smooth.
That was quite nice.
Glitching out of the wall can sometimes be a pain for anyone who hasn't ran this game, but as we go here, they're gonna be super nice and just let the hostages live, and you're just gonna go through. You can skip literally everyone here and skip through this door. And since we did, you can see that vault door is gone. There's usually a vault door there that we have to press a button. So these smart criminals, as you're getting shot, these smart criminals put a bomb in a in a skyscraper bank. So what you need to do is put the bomb in a safe place. I wonder where that can go. Right here in the safe. And since there's no door to there's no door, you can just press the button. The level's over. Like we said, walls are a suggestion in this game, and Spider-Man just saved the bank. So.
Indeed, it helps that they've buttered up the floor as well, so the bomb kind of nicely slides in. So it's good that they did that as well. Very appreciative of the bank robbers.
What I love about this game, and you guys are about to see as we enter Race to the Bugle, which is, you know, the next big hurdle for Spider-Man. I love that this game simulates a day in the life of Spider-Man in the comics. So in the morning he gets framed, and during the day he has to stop a bank robbery, and then at night Scorpion has J. Jonah Jameson cornered in an office, and he's got to go save him. So this is actually one of the more technical tricks, so I'm going to explain it here so he can concentrate. What we're doing here is Spider-Man has a kind of RNG chance of where he's going to swing. There's always a L1 targeting mode up for Spider-Man. So what he did was jump around the building, take the RNG out of the risk out of the equation, and force Spider-Man to swing there and do some really good cuts to keep that momentum. So that was a really good thing, and here comes a Scorpion boss fight.
Indeed. In theory, you can do this in one cycle if we're quick enough, and if J. Jonah Jameson over there is kind enough to us to not run through to this second room, which I think we, just about get.
Ooh, nice.
Very nice. There he goes.
Now he is quick on his feet, so that's why we use the web glove is to do the double damage. And you will see this combo that we're using, a kick, punch. We use that on every single boss except for one in the game. So you will be seeing that combo a lot.
Yeah.
And this is just a chase. So I mean, Spyran, if you wanted to say it, or I could say it, this is just a whole bunch of technical, technical swinging levels. Where you just need to be precise on your momentum and precise on your swings and your swing cancels, and you can just kind of make it through this. And yeah, there's 3 of these type of levels with 2 climbing levels mixed in between. And these cops are no joke.
Oh yeah, they actually go insane. They're just like, Spider-Man, you stole some technology, we're just going to nuke the entire city. Brilliant, yeah. It's very reasonable reaction from the police, but there you go.
Alright, and with this bit here, you are just supposed to crawl straight to the top, but we have found that there's specific places that you can jump off the building and zip. And that extra zip he's doing right there, for anybody who is looking at this and thinking, hey, I want to run this, that zip is very, very hard to do.
As you can see, guys, I nearly missed it there.
Right, and it takes a lot of practice to nail those down, and even we still miss it, as you can see, but yeah, it does save about, like, about 7 seconds, honestly, for crawling.
And in a run where if you're going for like world record times or like high times, when seconds do count, then very important getting those small time saves where you can, of course.
Yeah, so I still can't believe though that the cops are just blowing up the entire city.
Yeah, literally. It's pretty unreasonable behavior from them, to be honest.
All because Jonah was like, hey, this is the Science Expo heist guy, which, by the way, that was the cutscene that we did skip. Sorry, we aren't playing on kid mode, so there's going to be cutscenes that you guys are going to miss. Kid mode, for us, we can't skip cutscenes, or at least in-game cutscenes. And are you going to be able to make it through?
Yeah, perfect. Through the windows. Let's go.
So he just beat the missiles there. And yeah, as you can see, this game is super technical. I mean, like, not a lot of people realize it, but with these web swing cancels and momentum and just trying to figure it out, a lot of people don't realize that a game from their childhood can just go this fast.
All right, this is going to be an interesting little strategy here. So this was something that was only discovered literally like a couple of months ago. We name it the Flying Spider, or Spider Fly, where essentially if Spider-Man sets up positioning right, you can just fly through the air. Look, we can do a little loop-de-loop for skill and style, and we just fly to the end of the level, because of course you can. I would have laughed
if you would have hit a death trigger there.
Loop-de-loop into death, yeah, that would have been pretty good.
Shout out to the runner Nilo Kui for that, for finding that and basically optimizing it as you get shot. As we're telling you, these cops do not play around.
Yeah, it's quite nice on the PlayStation version of this game. So there's a couple of versions of this game. I don't know if everyone is aware. There's the PlayStation, there's a Dreamcast version, there's an N64 version, and a PC version, and a Mac version technically as well. On PlayStation, these the police that are shooting at you can be quite nice generally. On other versions of the game, Dreamcast especially, I feel like they're so brutal, they'll literally hit you every single shot they fire. It's crazy.
And on N64, you don't regain health either.
Yeah, so that's crazy. You just don't. At the start of each level, generally, you'll get all your health back. N64 just says, no, we're not going to do that.
All right, so now we're entering the boss fight with Rhino. Some more technology got stolen. There's a specific strat where, as you can see, we dive kick, and then we walk and glitch inside of Rhino. and do web domes, which is the other ability that you've probably seen us use only one time before. He can be a bully and you can get hit, but generally that saves the most time. There are people who use combo strategies on him, like some of our top runners do, but they always end up falling back to that web dome because it is the fastest. Now, Venom, you may think this is out of nowhere, but I did mention Eddie Brock at the beginning of this game. He thinks you stole the device, so he kidnapped your wife. I think that's
again, very reasonable behavior in this game, yeah, from everyone.
Very reasonable. So what Spyran is doing right now is actually very smart. Not only is he web swinging, and you may think he's getting stuck to buildings on purpose here, but the thing is this level's called Chase Venom, and the thing is what we're trying to do is we're trying to push his AI forward. So there's certain checkpoints that Venom needs to hit, and you need to hit in order for him to jump forward like that. So what we're doing here is we're listening for the audio cues, and we are pushing his AI forward to where we can get him to, honestly, to jump in this building and go towards the end of the level. There is, there's just skill checks and knowledge checks all throughout this game, this being one of them, where is Venom going to be, or you can just follow Venom. But
yeah.
For us, he's following us for most of this, so...
Yeah, you've got to be kind of careful on this one as well, because if you don't hit those triggers, or if you're just too fast at getting to the point where this cutscene starts, Venom can actually just not follow you into this cutscene. And essentially, you'll see two Venoms. You'll see one still on the girders that we just left, just kind of below us where we swing out here. And then you'll have this Venom that's actually running along. But the tracker at the top is tied to the Venom who's not jumped in the cutscene with you. And so as soon as you start moving away from this building and towards the end of the level, you'll lose Venom and you have to restart the entire level, which isn't ideal.
So if you don't hit this first try, I'm gonna be mad. So what he's doing right now is instead of landing on top of the buildings, he's saying, hey, I'm gonna swing around them. And he needs to be very careful because he can lose Venom by getting too far ahead. And it looks like he nailed it perfect. So Venom's supposed to be here talking a whole bunch of crap. We're gonna see that, hey, we beat him here. So, and somehow Venom's force alone, his willpower, just broke that billboard. So, but we definitely did beat him there. Here is another level of, this is the first level of Venom boss fights. Now, Venom boss fights are still going to be kick, kick, punch. And on PlayStation, we have the luxury of the L2 button, which locks us on to Venom. And also, we can hit him while he's spawning in. So we don't even have to wait for him to be fully materialized. He is invisible to our spider sense, so that's why he can go in. I guess it's also straight out of the comics of him being able to turn invisible. But yeah, and that's Venom 1 down. That was some really good spawns. He can usually take up to 30 years to spawn.
Yeah, it can be really rough, especially when you're relying on good RNG for some fast times there. If he takes like 3 hours to spawn for no reason, it's
yeah,
feels bad.
Now, we're honestly getting really close to the gauntlet, but I won't explain that until we get on to a nice little train.
Oh my days.
Ooh, good zip.
Fair play.
So Spyran's about to go under the pipes.
Oh, I totally missed it. Okay, ignore that.
It's crazy because I was about to say how dangerous under the pipes were. But yes, that is the perfect strategy. You die there, and then you get a credits warp.
Oh yeah, all intentional, of course. All intentional, of course.
Yeah, that was completely intentional. He wanted the credits warp. He didn't get it, unfortunately, so now we're going to go back. But in all seriousness, going underneath the pipes here is probably the most dangerous thing that runners do, that some runners do at least, because sometimes you won't be able to save yourself with a zip up. And if you're wondering why there's lizards, it's because whenever Venom kidnapped your wife, he took Mary Jane down into the sewers and took over the lizard territory. So this looks a little weird, but trust me, it's normal. This is just glitching out the camera for Venom to pop up.
Yeah, it doesn't actually do anything. It's just for fun.
Yeah,
everyone
it's
just does that for
the same
fun.
amount of time as if you go around the building if you want. But I will say this is actually one of the more important levels, at least to me, and I kind of preach this to a lot of runners, but this is an area we call God Pipes. So what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to use L1 targeting mode, which is a little green reticle you saw at the beginning of the run, to actually target mode your swings here. What we're going to do is we're going to completely bypass.
Ooh, okay.
That was really nice. But we're going to completely bypass that, and we're just going to swing on through, which on paper looks easy. but whenever you actually have the controller in your hands and trying to line it up, it is very hard.
Yeah, it's very easy to get stuck to the pipes, then you have to probably enter target mode at that point to not fall to your death, so executing that well is a good trick to pick up and good practice.
All right, and here comes the funnest level in the game.
For sure.
One of our runners' favorite level. This is Subway, and yeah, so we're gonna do a little strategy where you glitch inside a lizard. It's called Inside the Homie, and he can just put his hands up, relax, goof off, go get a drink. He can do whatever he wants right now, because this is a 2-minute auto scroller, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is good fun. This is it's a nice prelude into what becomes the rest of the game now, where it gets pretty insane. Every level after this, apart from maybe like one, involves some sort of skip. If you're doing any percent at least anyway, involves some sort of skip or trick that you're going to have to perform to obviously do this as fast as possible. So you get this nice kind of little 2-minute chill out session to think about what's coming up, to process what's going on. If you've got any pets, you can give them a pat on the head for
Oh, big Garfield, there he is.
pat for good luck. He's the true star, of course. So we have to make sure he gets his flowers. But yeah, so there's nothing really that you can do to speed up this level. If someone ever discovers a way to speed this level up, then that'd be so good. But so far we found nothing.
Let us know.
Yeah, please do. Please come and try and speed this up for us. But the only way currently that we've learned to speed up this level very slightly is that once we get to a certain point on the train, you can see the kind of ticker at the bottom of the train traveling along the track. We can end it early by starting to attack the lizards, and if we kill them all before a certain point in time, the train will actually just end before it hits the end of the track. So that's what we're going to try and aim for in a second.
And trust me, it looks a lot easier than it is, but that's honestly almost a frame perfect thing to do. But there is 3 levels to it. There's something we call a super train, which is what he's explaining, where we end it before the train gets there. A frame perfect, where we end it on the frame. And the reason that we call it a frame perfect is because if he just stayed inside this lizard right now and tried to wear out the ticker, it'd be an extra 15 seconds of him just waiting on the train, because the PlayStation will make the train disappear at the bottom, but he'll still be going. And the other platform, it's not like that. On this one, it's just like, hey, stupid, you got more train to go. And did you clear it out?
Hell yeah.
There we go.
That's a nice train.
How is the strategy you use called the one that's...
Oh, that's true. We didn't even tell everyone what we call the strategy of sitting inside the lizard.
I literally said inside the homies. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I must have. I do apologize.
Everybody missing me explaining. Okay, so here's what we call the gauntlet. We coined it during our any percent tournament that we had recently. Can't remember who coined it though.
Oh yes!
Oh, perfect zip through. Okay, so usually with that you have to sit here and you have to targeting mode, aim through the grate and get through the gate to skip this entire level. But instead, with one perfect zip and no leg day skip, Spyran is through. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Casually, that level can take a little time because you've got to go up, turn some switches on and things. But actually, Spyran just decides, you know what, I'm just going to skip through the gate entirely. So, good on him.
This is also one of the harder skips here to at least line up because of that stupid ceiling. But we're just going to, if Spyran could line it up, we're just going to glitch right through a specific spot on the wall instead of hitting all of the switches. It makes two of the longest levels turn into 2 of the shortest levels in the game. Now, this is the run ender, so I'm sure Spyran's about to concentrate. This is what we call the run ender. We might have a surprise for some of y'all in chat that that run this game. Might be a surprise coming up, but in all reality, this little water cycle he's on that we're roof zipping on right now. Roof zipping is extremely hard, and also you're supposed to do it in 2 cycles, so the water's gonna come up. We are just fast enough to do it in 1 cycle. Now, there's been a couple of skips that have been discovered over the past 1.5 years for this level. You're supposed to go hit a lever and everything like that. We're about to show you the quickest of them, but also the hardest of them, which is glitching outside of the wall and swinging underneath the level. Which, by the way, is scary, and he gets it first try. The next one would have been using the spider fly to go over the level, but this is the cool factor. Now, this trick may or may not be named after someone in this call right now, but the Fetty Fall essentially means we're skipping an entire puzzle, and walls and floors are just an option.
Oh no, I've rose up too early.
No.
Gutted. Hold on, we'll give
But
that
that is a potential problem with this trick, but it does save a lot of time. Instead of going and hitting 2 buttons back to back to open up these grates, you're just going to fall in between this pattern grate on the floor, and you are just going to use a good zip cancels to get all the way to the end of this tunnel.
Because Spider-Man is just made of paper, of course.
Yep.
Just slide straight through the 1 pixel gap between the textures there. Very good.
Yeah, so a lot of these skips have been discovered in the past year and a half. Shout out to the entire spider community.
Oh my, okay, I went too fast. Oh, okay, bit too fast there. Went a bit crazy.
So for anybody who's counting, he's 3 deaths in.
3 deaths,
so.
insane.
But it hits the harder of the tunnel crawl skips. But this is his maze for some reason. This is Lizard's maze, but Venom has taken over the Lizard's lair, and you're going to save Mary Jane, like we said. So this is supposed to be a maze, but we're going to skip all the way through this. Spyran the best at doing these zip cancels and roof zips. So what we're going to try to do is glitch out of the wall here. And then there's a little platform that he's looking for the green. Shout out to Burke, where's the green? He's looking for the green over here. And then we are right into it, and then that's the end of the level. Instead of having to go through this giant maze, we just skip right to the end and straight into the Venom 2 boss fight.
Yeah, this Venom 2 boss fight can be a bit scary because it's very RNG heavy. So Venom in this level can spawn in 1 of 4 locations. 2 of them being the best ones, being either right in front of us now or opposite where we are. But then he can also spawn in the kind of rafters to the left and right of us. We're hoping he spawns right in front of us each time. There we go. There's one good one. And we just do a kick, punch.
Yep. And also the L2 button comes in handy here because you can't see up in the rafters at all. For this boss fight, it does take 2 combos and a web ball, or 3 combos.
Oh, of course, he
spawns, and you got a raptor spawn. So, but luckily, Spyran is there in time. Misses the first kick, so he's gonna wait on Venom to spawn.
Yeah,
here,
nice.
And perfect. That's what we're talking about. Is that it's all RNG on where he spawns, but. We rescue Mary Jane, we team up with Carnage, and now we are about to surf the web. So we are back to the Bugle building, and symbiotes have now infested everything, preparing everyone for symbiosis as the fog has, so they are getting prepared. So what Spider-Man's going to do in this situation is, instead of saving all the hostages, we're going to glitch through a filing cabinet, and we are going to swing underneath the level to deload it, and just hit a trigger at the end, leaving all of the hostages trapped here for the remainder of time.
Indeed. File yourself under S for skip, specifically, to go through there.
Exactly. And now this is elevator descent. There's a lot of strategies for this, but the most consistent is to just glitch out of the wall by looking straight backwards and jumping straight into the level trigger. And now the next skip, there is this is called Stopping the Presses, is the level. There's a whole bunch of newspapers and symbiote generators here. I was wondering if you were going to.
Of course. We've got to show it off. Hold on.
Spyran is going for something called Underneath the Presses, skipping the presses. So this isn't the normal way you would do this level, ladies and gentlemen. So this is actually the hardest way to do this level, but he's about to deload the entire level. Hope for good swings onto specific platforms, and then just jump into the load trigger to end the level. And that's such a hard skip. Good job, dude.
Nice,
that's such a hard skip.
It's so insane.
Every time
like
I see you do it.
Yeah, these last couple levels go by so fast just because you're like, oh, the one skips like the entire thing. So, like I was saying, if you're going for like really good runs, you want to try and make sure you hit as many of these skips as possible because it saves you so much time.
So this is basement, Bugle basement skip. As you can see, he just turned and zipped through the grate. And you may have saw a Spider-Man imposter running. I don't know why the Spider-Man imposter is at the Bugle, or why, you know, we could just skip through the entire level like that. But we literally just skipped a whole bunch of load triggers to keep the level deloaded, and was able to jump straight into the end of the level without watching cutscenes. So for any of you who's probably trying to guess who the fake Spider-Man was, it wasn't the Chameleon, it was Mysterio.
Whoa.
So now we're gonna see. So if he stands a little bit off the ledge, Mysterio cannot grab him at all. So also this has the best boss fight music in the entire game, or the best music in the entire game.
Agreed.
But, Yeah, so all he's gonna do is enter targeting mode like that, shoot some web balls, and then shoot some more web balls, and then shoot some more web balls until until Mysterio's down. This turns it from the hardest boss fight in the game to the easiest boss fight in the game.
Unless you're playing on hard, and then this is the most ridiculous boss fight you'll ever do in your life. It's awful on hard.
For sure. Now, Mysterio has just told us that there's something going wrong in warehouse 60. Is it 65? 60, I think it's 65.
That's a great question.
Remember.
I actually don't know.
I don't remember what warehouse this is. I haven't watched the cutscene in a while, but that's a perfect zip out. I was about to say he needs to zip out between the barrels here, and this is one of those skips. He's counting in his head right now. We're jumping into the void, hoping we hit the low trigger, and he lined it up perfect, and that's what I'm talking about. Spyran,
hell yeah.
Let's go. Big boy energy.
And that's the last like major skip of the game. Like, there's nothing too crazy now, apart from another kind of newly discovered semi-skip, which doesn't really skip. You're not like flying through walls or doing anything. You're just skipping some triggers, which comes up in the next level here. But otherwise, it's pretty chill for the rest of the game. We've only got a couple of levels left to go now. But otherwise, yeah, it's... The hardest part is over until you get to potentially this next little bit where there's 3 boss fights coming up, or I guess 2 boss fights and 1 boss chase, in a sense.
Your spoilers.
Spoiler, yeah. If you've not played this game before, it's a bit of a spoiler, but you'll see when we get there.
Spoilers from 26 years ago.
Absolutely. Right, oh, that makes me feel so old. That's gross, actually.
But yeah, so somehow we felt like in warehouse you'll see that we fall through like an air conditioning duct or whatever, like a little vent. Somehow we fell like 30,000 feet below sea level, I guess, and into this base that's producing all the fog in New York. So this is the new strat that's just been discovered. After we do this strat, we have to reset our console because it activates an illegal thing after the run's over. Not during the run though. But as he grabs the fire web here, so you're supposed to go to 3 rooms and hit these buttons, but he's just gonna sit here and at a certain distance and just hit them from there. No crash, thank God. But he's gonna hit them from there, and for some reason, the game thinks that you just went to every room and hit all the buttons. So,
whatever you did,
yeah, that's the level that used to take a lot of time over very quickly.
You go and get some help,
so,
I'll find out.
And then we're just in this unskippable cutscene, which we can't skip this one.
I'll be back.
I will say, though, I'm wondering who the mystery villain is that, like, you know, that stole Octavius's, he reformed Doc Oc's device and, you know, is releasing the gas. I couldn't tell you guys, Chad.
Who could it be? No idea.
I mean, right?
Oh, no way! It was him the whole time. Oh, dude, my goodness me!
You're supposed to be reformed. But yeah, so if you didn't guess by now, Doc Oc's evil.
Yeah. Who would have guessed? Actually.
My bet it's the Beetle. Thank you, chat. But no, yeah. So he teamed up with Carnage in order to turn the world into symbiotes. In order for him to, I don't even know what he was trying to do. Because I don't even know. I think he knows he wasn't trying to control the symbiotes. All right. So what we're doing here is, this is by far the run ender as well of boss fights. He is trying to wait for the perfect opportunity to come kick punch and kick punch, and a web dome should do this. And
hell yeah.
That is deceivingly hard. It is a 1 cycle, and he has 6 cartridges, just enough for the next boss fight. Dude, that's so hype. I'm so happy you hit that. That is like... You guys don't understand that with how PlayStation plays, that's deceivingly hard. And now this is Carnage, who you probably haven't seen throughout the game because we skipped all the cutscenes. But since he has 6 cartridges, he's going to lock Carnage in this corner and just say, "Hey, here, take 1 tick of damage from each of these web balls and keep him in this sonic bubble that Doc Ock conveniently kept in Carnage's bedroom." So,
yeah, very kind of him to set this up for us.
Yeah. Shout out to Doc Ock for the sonic bubble, for real. Dude was actually a hero all along. Who knew?
Yeah, actually reformed the whole time. Can't believe it.
But this is perfect. Spyran doing a little dance of solitude in that sonic bubble, and that's it, guys. I'm just playing, but of course, it's not a day in the life of Spider-Man without a giant enemy at the end of the day, which would be a Carnage-infused Dr. Octopus namely dubbed Monster Odd.
Yeah,
And
which
this probably-
100% I'm sure gave you nightmares if you've played this game when you're younger, because it certainly gave me nightmares. Awful thing.
Yeah, this is one of the bosses of all time. Now, it really does show. You'll be able to see his web swinging skills and prowess here, and zip canceling prowess here. The main thing about this is that it doesn't matter how, like, you could run this entire level. That's I'm just breaking the immersion for the kids out there that, you know, freaked out and saw Doc Ock rubber banding to you. But you can run at least on easy, you can run this the whole time. But for us, it's dangerous because we are going as fast as possible, and the game loves to rubber band Monster Odd.
Yeah.
So that's when it becomes dangerous, is when the rubber bands kick in and you are stuck to a wall, and it will come up and kill you. So you're just seeing Spyran with some precise movement right now, getting through.
Sticking
he
to
is a
walls,
top-
of course.
yeah.
There you go.
Sticking to walls as soon as I say that. I
Yeah.
love it. But you see it here with some swings, some zips, some cancels. Just knowing the layout of the map is really kind of the big issue here.
Yeah, and this is the last level of the game, by the way, as well. This is what's going to finish us up, so time will be coming in
Yes.
about a minute or so from this point now.
I was about to say, judges with the timer, this is the last thing, and it will, as soon as the cut to black and cutscene starts, but as soon as the cut to black happens, which we will warn you is coming up, that is when it would be time at that point. So, but yeah, no, honestly, Spyran, I don't know, I couldn't tell you what time you're at right now, but I will be telling you that you have a good time.
Yeah.
So, especially for a marathon race.
And with 3 deaths in there as well, which shouldn't normally happen. Shouldn't happen generally. So not too bad, not too bad.
If you're 3 deaths, you're on like, you
Yeah.
would have been on crazy. pace. The time's
And
coming up,
time. There it is.
And that's time.
Well, that was, yeah, Spider-Man. So, it's slightly different probably than when you might have played it when you were younger. We skip a lot of the levels, but that's pretty much it. We finished the game. Everything nice and good happened. We saved Dr. Octopus at the end as well, so it's even been nicer. And that kind of wraps things up. So thank you everyone for tuning in and watching this run. If you are at all interested, we do have our own Discord for this game and Enter Electro specifically. So if you do want to come join us, check us out on speedrun.com and find our game channel there, when you can find the Discord and links to everything else. I've just recently put out a tutorial for this game as well. If you want to learn this game speedrun wise, there's a tutorial on YouTube which you can find. I'm Spyran on all social media stuff, so if you want to find that, you can. Fetty, do you want to give some kind of closing remarks about you as well, and where people can find you if they're interested?
Yeah, twitch.tv/WillyFetty. I don't stream as much as I would be, but I am going to be speedrunning this game more and more as the weeks come on. But also, you can find us on speedruns on Twitch. We've been hosting a lot of tournaments there. We just got done with the 80%. You can also find us on YouTube as well under that title. But if you want to watch the whole saga, but we're hosting a no skips tournament in probably towards the end of June, so keep up with that. And honestly, thank you guys for having me on. I loved being here and supporting my brother in crime, Spyran. And good job on your 29-29, my boy.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad as far as times go. But yeah, that pretty much does it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you again to Fetty for co-commentating this run. And please stay tuned for the rest of today's events.